Grand Rising, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Great evening to everyone who's listening locally here in York, Pennsylvania. I'm Patal Shakur, coming to you live from the WRCT studios here in the wonderful York, Pennsylvania. It's August 2nd, and of course, this is the wonderful Hour of Power. Like I said, I'm Patal Shakur. I'm going to give a little bit of moments for my guest host. EJ will be joining me in a moment. But until that time, I encourage everyone who's listening right now, go grab a pen and paper. I'll wait. And while I'm waiting, to do a little brief recap. Before I do the recap, I'm going to basically share with this particular episode what we're going to be leaning into is two main ideas that we're going to revolve the conversation. Now, this is only an hour, so if you're looking for your pad and paper, or looking for the gas bill envelope and a piece of pencil, whatever, go grab it from your drawer. This may be something you want to fact check, take some information down. Like I said, I'm a researcher. The information that's coming across to you is coming from peer-reviewed science, as well as coming from the spiritual essence as well. So the spiritual aspect and the scientific method is applied when researching this particular information I'm sharing with you all. So like I said, my name is Patal Shakur. Warning, I got a little disclaimer that I would like to do before beginning the show. The information that you're going to hear may excite you, it may trouble you, it may trigger you. However, we are living in a very, very remarkable period of time in which we are all releasing any discordant thoughts, energy, and behavior patterns, all for the aspect of ascending during this very, very wonderful time. Like I've shared on numerous occasions, this, for anyone who's listening to this and hear the sound of my voice, this is a live call-in show. So if you would like to call in, have a question, comment, little kind of if anything that I share may come out blasphemous, or if you want to support it or want to come against it, we can make sure that we communicate in a very civilized manner. So just briefly, I want to start with my intro. I know my place in truth. I know what I am in truth. I know how I serve in truth. I'm free, I'm free, I'm free. I'm in the upper room. God is, God is, God is. I, Patal Shakur, pledge to always look for the best in each and every circumstance, in each and every one, especially starting with myself. I come from love, I am love, and I choose to look at the world through the lens of love. I commit to choosing the upper room towards vibrating at the highest level possible. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm free, I'm free, I'm free. Behold, I make all things new. With that particular saying that I begin the shows with is affirmation that I say every day to make sure that I'm aligning my actions and my words to be the ultimate role model for individuals that listen to the sound of my voice, and particularly for the youth, because the youth that are actually walking the face of this earth right now, I truly believe, I know that they are, most of them are starseeds, individuals that are the oldest, some of the oldest souls in recorded history have now returned in the form of these young ones that are masking around as your little babies here. Very wise individuals. We're in a real key junction point. This is the point where it was written about in all of the spiritual writings, and it speaks about the return of the Mahdi, the Christ consciousness. This is what the Aztecs actually alluded to, but through 2012 they were pointing as a marker in time, pointing into this time, and we got a lot of stuff to get into. So with that, I'm going to go into my little brief intro. Then I'm going to do a little recap as far as what we shared about yesterday, as well as something to look forward to for the next show coming up next Wednesday. This is every Wednesday. Set your alarms, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. And this particular show is meant to inspire. It's a community show, so anyone's able to come on and actually promote what it is that you would like to express. This is educational, meant to inspire, invigorate, and bring love and light. That's everything that I am involved in: diversity, love and light, mental health, youth advocate. I am a catalyst for change, Reiki teacher, entrepreneur, spiritual teacher, channel, and guide. I am a rebel, here to uninstall cowardiceness. I, Ptah Shakur, seek to shed light on the daily atrocities that are orchestrated by the elitists who seek control of you and I to this very moment in time. I intend to promote love and light, education, and motivation for those seeking to understand the current cosmic energies which are permeating through this planet and our individual selves. I'm a dangerous man to the elites and those that are willfully participating in their own energetical enslavement. To all my listeners from my YouTube page, if anyone wants to like and subscribe, go on YouTube. It's Ptah Shakur. And so for all my listeners, you all are eternal beings, with forever being a fraction of eternity. You are beautiful, you are powerful, love-light children of the divine programmer. To all my star seeds, wanderers, angelic souls, Reiki healers, ascended masters, I ask you all to unite in love for yourself and cast this love unto your reflections that are walking around the face of this earth, masked as your fellow human beings. I would never kill myself. I am a happily married family man. I am a researcher, educator, and a youth advocate. I invite you all that are listening to get tapped in, tuned up, and turned on to this amazing fifth dimensional energy that is actually present in the most powerful of hours, the hour of power. So with that, that's my little kind of intro. Like I said, anybody wants to call in, there's going to be a number scrolling on the bottom. It's 717-846-5067. Or if you don't feel like kind of calling in and actually hearing your voice go out through the airwaves here, you can leave a comment on Brother Sharif's page, and it will be out on my page as well. This is actually going out live to the viewership in Pennsylvania, as well as it's being promoted through Facebook. And then later on tonight, it will be available on my Ptah Shakur YouTube page. So hopefully everybody got the pens. Hopefully you got your paper and any type of form you want to write things down. We are in a very, very crucial time. So before I get into that, brief recap. Last Wednesday, I kind of went involved in. It was quite scientific in dealing with explaining the double slit theory. The double slit theory is basically sharing that as you as a human being that is listening to this right now, you are tremendously powerful beyond measure. And believe it or not, you actually have always affected physical reality around you. People ask me about how do you manifest. You've always been manifesting. The thing is that we have been manifesting things that we do not particularly want, based off of misunderstandings of the laws and principles that govern creation and reality itself. And so with those particular principles, just real briefly, your power goes wherever your focus goes. So if you want to focus on receiving financial gain and beautiful relationships of all walks of life and things of that nature, to focus on those particular aspects. Don't focus on what you don't want, because the way that the universal law works, everything is magnetic. So if you constantly speak about, I'm in this relationship, you talk about what it is that is bothering you or what it is that you're trying to get away from, you'll understand that you'll get more of that. That is the way that this divine energy that is being shared. And my apologies. One of the things that I like to do when I speak to you is I apologize for what it is that my generation and the generations before me, the ball that we dropped. We had a wonderful opportunity to take the youth in this particular country farther and further into knowledge. However, we took them further and farther into foolishness. This is the forgotten century, based off of misinformation and repression of key information, such as the Nikola Tesla files and other individuals that have already shown the ability to make. I was talking to a gentleman today. Shout out to Terrence Skill at the Plate. Was talking to him. We're talking about the different technologies that have been shelved. There's technologies of how to make your car operate off of water and electric cars. That's something I've seen growing up. However, the question to the thinking person, why are they not prevalent today? So it basically, and it kind of goes into my topic of the day, which is the Who Cloned Tyrone movie, which I mentioned last week on this particular show, to go ahead and watch this. So hopefully those that are watching it already have some idea what this movie is about, so I don't have to do any spoilers, and how that relates to the very numerous whistleblower accounts that have been taking place this week. And if anyone has been a Patah Shakur subscriber for a period of time, you realize that on January I've actually spoke about these particular things coming in light, and here we are. This is the most wonderful time to get alive. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump in it. If anybody has any questions, it's at 8:11 right now. You can go ahead and I guess they call in. I'll stop with everything what I'm doing and make sure that I share what it is that whatever is on your all's mind. The number is 717-846-5067. I just want to do a shout out as far as next Wednesday. Each Wednesday, the second Wednesday in the month, we're going to highlight a business. And for next Wednesday on the Hour of Power will be the owners of the Pecan Tree restaurant. They're on Market and I believe it's Newberry Street in here in York, Pennsylvania. Have wonderful meals. I ate there a few times and had wonderful support. And so the owners of that will be on to kind of share a little bit about their path that led them to where they're at, and a little bit about their business. I'm gonna let them kind of speak to that. Also, at the end of the month, on August the 30th, we look to have a youth recognition. For anyone who's listening on that, go ahead and start sending that information. You can either send it to patashakor@gmail, or you can just send it to Sharif as well. As far as if you know of any youth you want to kind of get just celebrate a little bit. You can either call in with that, or like I said, send a message, and whatever it is, whether the individual is going off to college, going off to the military, valedictory, and all those different things. I believe that the youth have heard quite a bit about the things that they have not lived up to, and I believe it's high time to actually share with them what is positive exploits that the youth is actually involved in, which is really cool. So that's going to be on August 30th, and then next next Wednesday will be the Pecan Tree staff is going to be coming on. And I also want to make this announcement. This is the first time, very, very super excited. The Patah Shakur Speaks live call-in show will be beginning on Monday, August 11th. It's going to run from 8 to 9 p.m. And that's going to be a weekly show where you can be able to call in. I'm going to have different guests, kind of have a different type of feel to the studio here. However, I will also be holding it down for my very dear brother, Brother Sharif, for the Hour of Power as an interim host for that. So make sure you stay tuned for that. I'll be actually very be putting out different kind of promos and different commercials and things to let everybody know what the subject matter is in advance. So make it a little bit easier for you if you want to involve in this particular program. This is the greatest time to be alive. I need everybody to get hyped up as I kind of go into the jewel of the day. Now, here's the question of the day. I'll pose the question, and because it kind of melds into the topic of the day, is what was your favorite scene in the They Cloned Tyrone movie? For those that do not know, and I got my dear brother over there, he's going to be monitoring the Sharif, his particular Facebook page. So please make sure, just in case I missed something, I'm going to kind of go into it a little bit. I'm a person who watches movies and such, and I got super excited about this particular movie. And I actually got a little bit of a little taken back. I was listening to a few individuals, or was following them on Facebook and things. They were talking about the Clone Tyrone movie. More people was talking about Jamie Foxx and whether he was cloned and what something happened to him and things of that nature, which I think is really interesting. I'm not going to be speaking on whether Jamie Foxx is cloned or not. I don't have the knowledge and the understanding to see what's going on. Wouldn't be surprised. I do know quite a bit, being a researcher, being an insider, and I will be dropping quite a few. People used to say conspiracy theories. I call them conspiracies. Conspiracy facts. You gotta do your own research on this stuff. What's going on, God?
Good. How you?
Doing good. Just did my little intro. I'm about to go into the meat of everything, which is that movie that everybody is talking about. And if you have not seen the movie, it's on Netflix. It's called Who Cloned Tyrone. Basically, the premise of it. You seen it? Oh, okay. That's cool. It's cool. We all gonna learn and gonna grow together. So with this particular Jamie Foxx show, it goes into what takes place in the inner city. I don't know what particular city it was, but it is a gentleman who was a drug dealer, and it was a pimp, and it was a prostitute as well. And what they did is they uncovered a very elaborate system of research and control in their particular environment. And like I said, I'm gonna drop it. Anybody that wants to drop, I don't know if you're checking out the Facebook. Like anybody who wants to clock in and say what their favorite scene of that is, and also want to make this brief note as well. Is my dear brother there at the Skillet to Play. He did give us wonderful gift cards, which we're gonna try to find, analyze, and come up with a way where we can dispense those particular gift cards for people who want to kind of top in and participate with the dialogue and the conversation. But just real briefly, for those who have seen it, here's some real key highlights. I ain't gonna tell you about the whole movie, but one of my most favorite particular parts in the movie, and I'm gonna tell you this real quick, because what it is, I just want to surmise it up real fast. Is these three individuals almost on some kind of like Scooby-Doo type of vibe. They went in and by mistakenly they went into this house. It looked like it was a trap house. It was crazy, right? And so what they did is they found out that in the back of the house was this elevator shaft. So they went in there, being adventurous. For one thing, I love about the movie is that the individuals, they wasn't scared. And the individuals, those that are in power over us, the ones that are elitists that's trying to run these crazy little programmings and things of that nature, they're depending on all of us to sit on our couches and not go on the motion and not explore and not go and seek this particular knowledge. So these particular characters went and sought out, seen this elevator, and they immediately did. He went in, he went into the elevator, went down, amount of floors, open up, and what they found out was it was scientists that was inside of this lower area, and they had camera systems that was all. The camera system was in the strip club, it was in the church, it was in the dollar, in the scratch off little placey place or whatever. Huh?
The corner store.
Yeah, a little corner store. It really is a movie to prick your consciousness. And so what it is, they basically found out that they were being cloned. They found little body bags and such, and they found out that everybody that was in that community had a clone type of replica in this particular environment. So when they did, they was moving around. They put the suits on and everything so they wouldn't be seen as being outsiders. So here's the deep. This is my favorite part: is when they came up through the elevator. They came up through the strip club. As soon as they came through the strip club, there was different agents that was in the movie as well. Almost like on The Matrix. You ever seen The Matrix?
Yes.
Very, very similar to The Matrix. And this is real life that we're talking about here. So the key thing is that the agent that was listening, they radioed. So you got three bogeys, meaning there was three individuals that broke out of that system. They broke out of that matrix. They was woke. And I don't like using that word because people then piggyback that word. They were conscious.
Yeah.
Of what was going on around them. They was awoken to the consciousness of what's going on. So in this particular scene, they're walking through the club. They're trying to get out of the club. And the agent spots him. And the first thing he does is change the music around. He's like, all right, y'all, we're going to slow it down a little bit. We're going to slow it down. And they put this song in. And basically the song was saying, round and round, spinning round and round. I mean, it was for a nice beat. I ain't going to lie. I was in there listening to the beat like, okay. Which is indicative of the truth. There's a lot of banging beats. They got some foolishness that they throw right on top. So in this movie, they were trying to get through the crowd or whatever, and all round and round, they was playing the song. And what you see that everybody was in there, they was turned up, and they all started to go like this. They started to beat. It's that mind control. I was like, ooh, I seen that. I said, Started just scribbling that down. And the one, the girl, she was the female character, the one that was the prostitute. She was up on it first. She said, cover your ears. It's in the music. It's in the music. And so they basically covered the ears and kind of ran out of it. So that was my favorite part, one of my favorite parts, because it shared, the facts and the truth of the matter is that this music that we're getting inundated with, it is not allowing us to grow and phosphor. And then on a higher note, I don't even know how many people know about this. This is talking about on the musical scale. Now, I'm not an expert when it comes to musical scale. When I'm talking about music, I'm talking about like the
frequency,
the notes, like the B flat and the C flat and all that other type of stuff. What I was researching, this is about a couple years ago, is there was a group of individuals, I think in like the 40s or 50s, it was the Rockefellers, that all music has a certain standard that it has to go on. That up until that period of time, you're going through the Gregorian phase, you're going Mozart and Bach, they have a certain standard of music. And anybody who's listening on, please come in and fill me in and help me out with this. And I know what I'm talking about, but the finer nuances and details of it, whatever the standard of music at around 1940s or whatever, it was changed. So meaning that every song that we're hearing on the radio, all these popular music, it has a little off frequency. One of the things that I do know, and I told y'all to get a pen and pad, get in the back of the envelope and get a crayon or something. Tritone frequencies. It was something that they found back in the 80s. It's a particular riff that the rock music was doing. Like it was like whatever that particular pattern, you will find that same pattern in in the majority of the popular music at that time. With that tritone frequency, that was a frequency that throws off our chakras. And for those that don't know, you have different chakra energy points, and this music is definitely throwing that off. So much so our lower chakra, our root chakra, is considered like our sex chakra, so to speak. That's what most people allude to it, the red chakra. That is being thrown off, and our youth is being so thrown off because it's so sexualized with the music. I mean, tell me, like, when you were growing up, when you had like birthday parties and stuff,
I ain't have no parties, but so I'll say this, right? Because I'm familiar with what you're talking about, and like even think about all the remakes they're doing, right? Because hits are popular music.
Hits a hit,
right? And they keep reproducing it because it's that frequency that you get from a certain song, and that's why you'll hear everything sounds familiar. Everything, even when I talk to my parents, it's like, is this the original? They'll be like, oh, it's not even original. Somebody did this back in, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, or whatever. True. And then it came out again in the 70s and the 80s. And then you'll hear it again in the 90s and then the 2000s. And now we're going through it again. Because now when I hear songs that these kids are singing, I'm like, do you even know the original of that song? It's like, they probably don't, though. And that's why they keep reproducing it. Now, this is where I have the little, I guess it's like a dichotomy. I'm not sure what I want to call it, but it's like music is supposed to be a reflection of reality, right? So I'm a rap fan, and I understand the reality for some is different for others, right?
Right.
But do you understand the reason why it's pushed to everybody else? Why? How does Lil Durk resonate so much in the suburbs?
I got
right?
You.
Like, you ain't spinning no blocks in the suburbs. But that resonates. I mean, you will see a carload of college girls talk about spinning the block. It's like, they're pushing it for a reason,
right?
Because it slowly becomes acceptable.
Yeah.
And then it is easier to separate, honestly.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever heard, say, Yiddish music? Or, Jewish? You ever heard the music?
No.
You ever heard the music? They got music.
They got to.
They got music.
People, I think.
They listen to popular music too, but they got their own music too. You know who doesn't have, a gang of violence and misogyny in their music? Them. And you'll notice that certain cultures, it's like, if you want to succeed, you got to talk about certain things. When I was growing up, I grew up on Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Ooh, classics.
Whitney Houston, Marvin Gaye, Frankie Beverly and Mays, stuff like that. Love was promoted. Love ain't even cool no more.
Marvin Gaye, yeah.
Love is not even cool no more. Like, it's not cool to be in love. I'm a sucker for love. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I'm a sucker though. It's like, oh, you's a Vic.
So.
You's a Vic. Yeah. It's like, man, girls looking at you like, I'm on this. It's like, sweetheart, there's a reason why they push that to you.
Absolutely. It's more lust.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we all deal with it. We all deal with it. It's human, but there's a reason why there's a value placed in choosing wisely and not making it about stuff that doesn't matter. But it doesn't make money. But we're the ones who spend the money.
Yes, sir.
So I get it. Beats be banging. I listen to it, man. I mean, like I love a lot of that stuff.
I get the instrumental sometimes. If I'm playing like for youth.
Yeah.
Cause like I just go crazy. I go past somebody's birthday party for like a 9-year-old and they was playing. I'll be like, man, you can't play that.
It's crazy. Yeah, I couldn't listen to that music when I was young. I wasn't allowed to, and I used to be like, nah, I can't listen to Tupac. No, Tupac wasn't allowed in my house. My first tape was I got 2 tapes. I got LL Cool J, the single to what single was it?
Mama said knock you out.
No, I told you I wasn't allowed to have rap in the house.
I got you.
I had to buy my own. So this is like,
okay,
I'm probably like, was it like 90? It's like 94, 95. So whatever LL Cool J single was out at the time, it was I played it all the time, and I got Mobb Deep, Hell on Earth. But it was censored, because I think I got it from Walmart.
Yeah.
I think I got it from Walmart, right? But my first rap was censored that I bought. But I still loved it.
Yeah, Wu-Tang, I think that was one thing. They was dropping hints in there. They was saying that the black man is God. They bring a lot of that 5% stuff. That and, Green, a lot of people in my, that's hearing this form. And anybody from New York that's hearing that's affiliated with anybody from Wu, make sure they get in contact with me. We straight thank the Wu for, teaching the babies. Teaching it was a kick the truth to the young black youth.
Yes.
That's something that's hey, this is why we're here. We're not going nowhere, so we're just going to take it further with that type of spirit. But yeah, you're right, man. That music actually just turned everything around. And then the second point, and I don't know if anybody responded on the chat as well. Please just respond. Whatever your favorite scene in they clone a Tyrone movie. If you want to call in and have a little conversation about it, the phone number is 717-846-5067. And the second part that I find, I'm just going to skip to the end of the movie. Because like I said, this was going on in the hood. They were doing it so smooth. If it wasn't for these individuals that was bold enough to go down this elevator. So anyways, they came out of the strip club or whatever, and the people that was still in there listening to the music, then it got real. Cause he said, okay, y'all, yeah, I see y'all got y'all all caught up in the sauce. I got one more thing for y'all to do. He told them to go run after them people. So you see, they in the car trying to get away. You see, like, everybody in the club was just hooked with that music. And they chased them and surrounded their vehicle, whatever. And then, they was allowed to, they wouldn't be killed or anything. And then it came the real kind of protagonist part of the movie. So this big limo pulls up, right? Everybody kind of clears out the way. And the black dude come out. He walks up, and it's the same as the dude. Like I said, they was cloning him like it was fake money, yo. They was cloning him like. Yeah. And then my favorite character, Keith Sutherland, the Caucasian. I think there's only one Caucasian in the whole movie, besides the agent. And the agent dude was kind of like, I don't know, little genetical, half black, half. I don't know what he was. But anyways, the Caucasian man came to him and said, "Hey, look, I'm gonna give you 2 options. Either A, you just go back to your slumber. You ain't seen nothing. Go back, or we're gonna have to kill you." And and believe it or not, that is a stance that a lot of people, that when you reach this upper echelon, you start to realize, like,
even Jamie Foxx, being in that Hollywood industry, I've heard a lot about the crazy foolishness. You know who David Icke? You ever hear David Icke?
I'm not sure.
It's a dude. He writes different books. He talks about different type of like government, like operations, like hidden. I'm talking about that
Oh, then no, I haven't heard of
secret,
him.
secret deep black type stuff. So basically, when individuals like Jamie Foxx, and which is so interesting, is if anybody would know and go back 6 weeks ago before this movie came out, Jamie Foxx actually fired, I believe, his producer, 2 directors, and his driver. I was like, ooh. I listen to the news with a different ear. So I said, oh, he fired a producer, 2 directors, and the driver. I'm like, where'd the driver kind of come in? So this is what I kind of surmise, and this is some things that I believe is going to be coming out very, very shortly. And now Jamie Foxx is real mum on his words, because from my understanding, after he got rid of those individuals, and it may have something to do about this They Clone Tyrone movie. I know he was actually filming another movie as well, and these are just my thoughts. Anybody else want to share their thoughts, please make sure you chime in. But whenever you put a movie like this, you gotta see this movie, bro.
I'm going to.
When you put this out there in the airwaves or whatever, it had to ruffle a couple feathers for those that want to keep us prostrated so they can play this little game on our backboards. They got to keep that. So that was the key point in there, is that they asked him, hey, look, you want to go back and just go back into your ignorance? And he did for like a whole week or so. He was just went on. He was still doing his old. He was going to get his 40. He would go smoke his stuff. He would go back on the block. He would still go sell. He was just doing his same routine. And they just see it just kind of burning in him. And even the female character of it. And this, shout out to all my females out there, man. We got to work our very best to bring this feminine energy back into its proper balance. You see that everything in this culture that we live in is too masculine heavy. And this, you see this type of systems coming about, all this war and all this type of foolishness. It wouldn't take place, my personal belief, if the feminine energy was truly, truly respected. But in the movie, the girl, she was on her Dora the Explorer type stuff. She had a hat on. She wrote all this stuff down. She wrote the plans. She wrote this, that, and then she went to go get it out. She couldn't go back to sleep. That's one thing. When you awoke, you can't go back to sleep.
Yeah.
When your eyes were revealed. And then another movie y'all want to watch, it's called They Live. It's from the 80s. Deep movie. Dude put on the glasses. He's seen reality for what it is. Long story short, the world that we're living in right now, it's befuddled and it's made to be confusing and made to be distraction. Whenever there's a real powerful news item that comes out, which I'm about to get to in a moment, you'll find that it's quickly covered up with something that was, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, false flag. There's some false flag operation. We're not gonna go into too many false flags today, but for those who actually are at the point of having this knowledge and perspective, now is your time to share it. Because keep in mind, if you have this knowledge, and then when it comes out that you knew this knowledge and you did not share it with the people, man, they're gonna be mad, yo.
I agree. So for me personally, right? I understand why some knowledge is esoteric, right? Why it's not available to the masses. I was just actually having this conversation with somebody, and it was, we're trying to figure out why certain things are happening. Why it's just like, he said, this world is evil. I said, it's not really evil, right? If you haven't been under certain pressures, you haven't seen certain situations, I'll tell you now, you have no idea how you're going to react. A lot of people understand this. I don't think everybody understands this stuff. When people move in a mass, they usually don't move as smart, because you stop thinking for yourself, for real. And you move with a mind collective. You know how they say, you see a black person run,
Yeah.
you gonna run too.
I'm
I'm guilty myself. It's like, where he going? What's coming, bro?
I've experienced that.
What's coming? It's really real. And people who have the knowledge, if you give it to the wrong people, it might cause panic. For one, panic doesn't help anybody. If you can stay cool under the pressure, it's cooler heads will prevail every time. So
True.
I understand why some knowledge is hidden or not freely given. But at the same time, you gotta be aware when they're keeping you ignorant.
Yeah.
Like when they're keeping you in the dark. For me, it's sinister.
It is.
I was telling somebody, I posted a question. I was like, listen, what's the difference between being chosen and being set up? What's the difference?
That's a good question. That's a chosen or being set up. I guess I say, how would you mean set up? You mean
Set up.
set
Set
up
up
to
for
fail?
set up for something nefarious.
Oh.
For me,
Mhm.
it's you gotta know what you got chosen for. You might not know when you get chosen, or you might not know why they chose you. But once they choose you, it's like, this is what it is. The setup is like, it's too late now.
Got you.
Trap done closed.
Shoot, we almost on some setup time.
Yeah, yeah. It's like there, I feel like myself included, man, especially me. It's like sometimes you going through stuff and it's just like, yo, why is this going like this? And it's like, why is this stuff coming to my attention all at once? It's like, and it's not something I feel proud about either, because it's like, I want to know why.
Right.
I want to know. Tell me why. Because especially since it seems like everything's falling apart. You know, life is not looking like it's taking a meteoric rise right now for the earth in general. So why am I waking up right now? Right? It's like, I'm not special. As much as you are special, you're unique. But it's like, why don't everybody know? It's like, why isn't everybody as scared or as panicked or as alert
Right.
as I am? It's like, you don't feel this? That's how I be feeling.
I got you. Some people are waking up, bro. It's all when you choose to, like I said, your mind go where your power goes where your mind goes. And I was talking to somebody, we can cause ourselves to become blind to certain things.
Yes.
You know, like some people might be in a relationship, you know, and your girlfriend is like, you better leave him. Don't you see that person do. These eyes will trick you.
Yes.
I believe it was said in the scripture, it said, believe none of what you see and half of what you hear.
Yes.
And so we live in a system that does their very best to fake this right here. They got deep fakes right now. They can have a picture of me going out there cussing. And I'm like, dang, that look just like me.
Yeah.
So it's the elaborate tricks and things that they have put on people. And let me just talk about black people in particular, because it seems like we've been dealing with this our whole lives. And I think most people get a little bit of a despondentness, like, okay, well, hey, you know, we were taught not to see the value in ourselves. So then when we get to the point of asking that question, even when we go to our religious institutions, a lot of people have questions about what it is the pastor say and all this. But like you said, they just go around with everybody else.
Yeah.
Somebody say run, they run. You know, but this is freedom time. And so this shows like this, we're in your face. So you don't have a choice. You're going to turn, either you're going to recognize what we're saying, or we're going to go back into your stupor. And this is part of my intro that I said. I said, I'm a dangerous man to the elites and those who willfully participate in your energetic enslavement. Basically, you have nobody to blame but yourself. You can't blame nobody else. It even has in the scripture, said, my people, they lose their life for the lack of knowledge after it was sent to them. Most people, black people, don't know, or they need to kind of Google a little bit. There was a man that came 1940s, 50s, his name was Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad shared, hey, y'all doing this? Hey, let's do this and build. And there's been a lot of successful individuals and a lot of successful areas, but as far as black people as a whole, I remember growing up, my mom ain't say nothing to me about that. It's sure enough not even gonna be in the school. I had to find out from my OG later on. I'm like, man, this little man, this dude was like 4'4". Something like that. I mean, illiterate man that never went to school, never went to college, that was a drunken, that actually got this divine knowledge and able to make this effect and bring up a whole entire nation, but nobody talking about that. Something to think about. But yeah. So everybody who's listening to Sound of My Voice, this is freedom time. If you see the elitists are doing so many things, and I'm trying to be careful with some of the things that I share on this particular program. Because if you want to hear some more real, go to Patash Shakur on YouTube, and we'll get into it a little bit further. So anybody want to call in or drop a line about your favorite scene from the Who Cloned Tyrone movie? Please do so. I just want to mention that like I said, that second part of the movie when they asked the gentleman, to go back to sleep or whatever. Eventually, he got to the point. It's like, no, I can't go back to being deaf.
Yeah.
And so him and because they already captured the girl, she was already like in the system. Cause she was she was straight up trying to do it. She was trying to drop something in the mailbox. They came to snatch her up. So then it was just the pimp and the drug dealer, and they just said, hey. They concocted a plan, which I thought was very, very heartfelt, is that it was different gang members. That was the thing. Actually, he died because a gang dude had shot him. So he went across the aisle and said, look, bro, we got our beef. I live on this block. You live on this block. We shoot and kill each other on the block. But we have a greater opponent that we're facing. And as humanity, where you're listening right now, we have a greater opponent to face than those that look like us. And when I mean that, I mean to go about doing that action in the love, enlightened love, and building of self. At no point in time do I recommend anybody to do anything that's violent or actually do anything against any person ever. But be aware of what's going on. So at the last scene of the movie, spoiler alert, last scene of the movie, what it is, they gathered up, and it was a beautiful scene too. It was all the little Cadillacs or whatever going down the street. You got your red one, you got your blue one, and it was basically the different sets from a whole community came together, and they rode together, and they went into that underground facility, and they freed everybody. All them, and they was, I forgot to even mention this part. Everybody had a duplicate, and they were just sitting in like almost on the Matrix type of style. It's a lot of parallels from the Matrix. But that unification, that is the part that I kind of really want to kind of lean on, and that's what is needed for this day, because, and this goes into the other little thing I want to share about. Have you seen the whistleblower accounts? Have you heard anything about the whistleblowers?
I've heard some whistleblowers. I haven't seen any accounts. What do you mean?
What I mean is that I think last week there was a gentleman who went into Congress. He had three people with him. One was a Navy, like an Army general. One was a pilot.
About the aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They was sharing about the alien, and that's cool. That's cool. Anybody that is somewhat woke already kind of knew aliens was out there. Anyway.
Yeah.
But that's not the part that behooves me. The part that behooves me when they was questioning and asking the gentleman, it was saying, so what you're saying that there is a program built into the military that knows these things, that collects these specimens, these ships and specimens. They have already been captured, numerous. All this is still coming out. So this shadowly part, this is now where the flashlights are now being shown on this shadowly part. These are the same parts that deal with the human trafficking. You ever wonder, even like the movie, the They Cloned Tyrone movie, the gentleman that came out and was kind of sharing everything with them, he said that element of drugs, prostitution, and pimp was deliberately allowed to stay in the community, because in the word of the movie, he said if it wasn't for that, he said there'd be a Starbucks. There'd be 3 Starbucks on every corner. I said, man, is anybody catching what this is saying? If that element wasn't existed to keep out this type of mentality. Go ahead.
What's so crazy is, right? Like,
Yes.
I was literally just having this conversation, just randomly, where it's like, so that knowledge, when they start giving it to you,
I got you.
and they've been withholding it for so long,
True.
you got to question, man.
I feel
You
you.
got to question why they giving it to you.
Question everything.
You got to, because it's like, oh, now you telling me. Now you telling me what? You telling me because it's not like they're showing you all their cards now. They ain't been playing cards up. They've been keeping everything real tight to the chest. But it's like once they can't hide anymore, now it's like, oh no, put it on the news. If it was on the news, they're not hiding it.
True.
Man, they've been hiding UFOs. There've been UFO abductions since forever. forever, and they never talked about
They
it.
got stuff on cave walls that show you.
Yeah, people have been talking about UFOs since the pyramids, man.
Yeah.
It's like, and now all of a sudden it's like,
I
this
got
knowledge
you.
isn't new.
I got you.
Well, I'm on. Because I ain't gonna lie, man. I understand conquering fear, but it's like, I don't want to break the rebellion before the rebellion starts.
Okay.
So sometimes it's like, don't let them know what you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, I would love to tell, like I said, I understand why some knowledge is kept from the masses. Because it's like, listen, I don't want them to get wind that we got wind of them
Got you.
until you ready to make that move. Because it's like, man, no. I really believe there's a higher intelligence. Man, there's a higher intelligence than you.
Yep.
So get your higher intelligence out first. I'm going to get mine out first.
True.
So,
Yeah,
like,
work on yourself.
I'm really on the point of where I feel like I'm gonna be able to feel it soon. Like where I'm just gonna be able to feel it without looking, without knowing. I'm gonna be able to feel if you're one of us,
Right.
because I really think that's what it is. It's like there's us, and then there's all of us. I don't care any differences we have. If you on this unifying life force type thing, I'm with you.
Got you.
I don't care what you look like. I don't care what shape you are.
Right.
I don't care what you did before or after.
Right.
But if you on this time, I gotta get myself to the point where I can recognize it, and not just recognize you. You should be able to recognize me.
Yes.
Like that's what I'm on. That's why I'm trying to raise this vibration up and keep it up. My man's like, you gotta get on that sign line. You know, between the yin and the yang, you have the line. You know, most people say stay in the middle. I've always been a black or white person. I've had this confirmed by my therapist. It's like, you know, you're black or white. You're all or nothing. And I am. I am. I'm not going to lie. I go bad, I go all bad. I go good, I go all good. I tell everybody I know. I'm not playing no middle line. I'm trying to get as far this way as possible.
I feel
So that if I fall, I'm not going to come that far down.
Got you.
Because I ain't going to the bottom. That's not happening. No more. So I advise everybody, keep it up as high as you can. Forget trying to stay balanced. Man, nobody perfect. Ain't nothing wrong with trying. Ain't nothing wrong with trying. Because I feel like right now how this energy been hitting me, it's like, man, the more you slip, you won't even notice. And next thing you know, it's like, man, what happened to you? It's like, play too close to that. Play too close to that fine line. I'm trying to get as pure as possible. It's just what it is. It's like I have all the feelings everybody else has, man. I get angry, I get sad, I get depressed, I get root chakra kick in, and it's like I feel lustful. It's like, you know what? I ain't playing with none of that stuff right now. Because I feel like there's something so much bigger coming.
It is.
For me to have my focus, I need that all my focus.
Focus, tunnel. I tell everybody, keep focus on the seventh door. Whatever your goals is, don't fall for the first or the second. Keep your vision totally focused, because this is the time. Like I said, it's time to get up. You know, it ain't time to jog.
Yeah.
It ain't time to
Yeah.
jog. It's time to get that sprint. And with that sprint, what it's gonna mean is you're gonna have to leave some of your friends. That means you're gonna have to completely change it means you're gonna have to get on your weirdo. You're gonna get on your weirdo. You can be the only one in your house eating lettuce. You're the only one in your house eating beans.
Listen, yeah.
You gotta do it. Every tub stands on its own bottom. We really don't have that time to play with that, because, and I'm gonna kind of go ahead of what you were saying. Like you were saying, this government whistleblower stuff. The government is allowing pilots to come. They're giving them the green light. Now why? Always ask why. I'm gonna go ahead and you on this. Now for this UFO thing, this is coming out, and this is gonna be like I said in my little, this is my little intro that I said. I'm gonna say it again. I would never kill myself. I am happily married, family man. I'm a researcher, educated. Make that really.
Suicidal.
I'm not suicidal at all. I love my life. But this high knowledge that I'm about to share out of my mouth, it's gonna let you know. Basically the ploy, the next thing to keep an eye out for is, for one, you're gonna see a lot more things coming from the sky. It's inevitable. You're gonna see it. But this is the kicker. There's gonna be a fear-based agenda that will try to make us look at those individuals that are above in these things, it's going to try to make us seem that we need to be fearful of them. And now there's something called, and this is the elites do the same game over and over and over, and that game is called problem, reaction, solution. What it is they cause a problem, they wait for the reaction, and then they'll sell you the solution, and the solution is just enslavement. So many times they do the same exact thing. So, Patal Shakur sharing what you hear first. Problem, reaction, solution. Be very, very aware of any type of, we need to be fearful of these people. Oh, we're going to give some more of our rights away.
Yes.
Because that's the
That's
end
what
game.
they do, yes.
They want your rights. They want, like I said, that 1% that owns 99.5, they want 99.9 by the end of the day. They're not playing. They want it all. And I got some receipts right here. Here's some government programs. I asked everyone in the very beginning to get your pen and pad ready, and we got about 10 more minutes. Google this one. Project Blue Book. Project Blue Book. Now there's something that everybody can find this out on the Freedom of Information Act. If you Google or DuckDuckGo, go to I don't mess with Google no more.
Okay.
DuckDuckGo is a search browser you could do, and they won't trace you and all that. DuckDuckGo.com. Project Paperclip, Operation Paperclip, basically shares about it was a group of individuals in the government called the MJ-12, a Majestic 12. They were the ones that was sent to investigate all that stuff that came from Area 51. Mm-hmm. And yes, there was a crash in Area 51. And no, you can go there now. There's nothing there. They moved everything. So it's basically like a joke. They can tell you about Area 51. They've been moved that stuff. But they have captured crafts. They have captured beings. All of that is in there. So that's what I'm saying. Freedom of Information Act. What it is set up in the Constitution is that the government has to declassify top secret information. I believe it's 40 or 50 years after.
Yeah.
I read it myself.
Yeah,
it was some good stuff. I read it like about 15 years ago about Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
They were saying
there's tarnish his character.
On government letterhead with generals' names with the American seal on it. I'm talking about the real redacted stuff, the ones you see that has all that black. Mm-hmm. They have to bring it out on the Freedom of Information Act is where you get those receipts. And so they had it right there at 11:21, at 1:22. They would constantly call Martin Luther King. What's his wife's name?
Loretta?
Yeah. Coretta. Yeah. And they were saying that, he was cheating, he was out doing this, they would harass.
Underage girls.
Yeah.
A bunch of stuff.
This is in the documents. Now there's some other document stuff. So there's actually a secret government program. And it started from, I'm going to go from the timeline. It started from Area 51. When Area 51, they realized that we stepped in some really interesting stuff. So by that next year, billions of dollars went to create new government programs like NASA. NASA didn't exist before Area 51. They brought up NASA. They brought another one that I can't remember. And they brought up two more. It was 4 different organizations that was birthed at that same time. Those two, you don't hear nothing about them. They went black. Well, they say went dark. Mm-hmm. And even when they did the budget, I think like 5-6 years ago, they found that $1.2 trillion of the United States budget or money from the economy is gone. Mm-hmm. Nobody's talking about that. Nobody even talked about it a week after they even did it. Mm-hmm. Where's that $1.2 trillion going? I tell you where it's going. It goes to these different programs. They have a program that actually teaches. They have participants that do astral projection. What it is, They just sit in the seat and they are able to use the power. I'm telling you all are powerful. I'm not just saying that. The government knows that. Look up the I can't remember the gateway process. The gateway process. Gateway process proves that the government.
I did it before.
Yeah.
I did it before. Like I had a real live out of body experience. Scared the mess out of me, man. I'm in the bed. I was meditating before I went to sleep, right? I have been trying to have one. My mom was on vacation. I told my mom I'm gonna come visit you, right? I said I'm gonna come visit you. She's like, "How you got? Don't worry about it. I'm gonna come visit you." I fell asleep on my meditation. I had the music in my ears. I fell asleep on my meditation. I heard a sound at my door. I got neighbors. I probably walking the dog, probably like 3 something in the morning. Door. Me being who I am, I'm alert to sounds. I'm like, oh, let me go see what that is, right? So I go out down the hallway, down the steps, right? Nothing at the door. Click. I'm in the bed. I didn't move. I'm like, oh snap! It happened. Like, and listen, I also know because I was on floor level. I was on the floor level. It's not registering when you're in that sleepy state.
Yeah.
That theta state. It doesn't really register. But it's like, oh no, I was like at ankle height. I'm walking down the steps like I'm face is like at the steps. I'm like, oh, I just did it. I haven't been able to go any farther than that. But it's like, oh no, this is real.
Yeah, it's
I'm like, oh, that's real. And I'm a skeptic. Like, I am a skeptic by nature, but I have seen so much stuff that's like, I'm not even comfortable talking about it because you look crazy.
Yeah.
You look crazy, but it's like, if you know me, if you ever met me, right? Yeah, I like fantasy novels and I watch Star Wars, but I'm not that big of a geek, right? It's like, if I know this stuff, they've been on this for years.
Yeah, heck yeah.
They've been on this for years. And if they're not telling everybody,
Even Russia has their own.
oh yeah,
Group.
ESP squad.
Their own ESP.
Yeah.
They spy on each other.
Yep.
And I actually had an out of body experience. I had a couple of them. One of them it was consciously that I actually traveled to my home. This was when I lived out of town. And I came in through my house. I see my wife. I see my children. I went out the front door. No lie, I swear to you.
Yeah.
After it was over with, I called maybe 10 minutes later. The first thing my wife said, as soon as she picked up the phone, she said, yes. She said, was you just in the house?
It's really real.
This stuff can be verifiable. This stuff that we're sharing, this topic and the subject matter, we're just trying to really take the role in sharing this with you so we all have a chance to ascend, because the powers that be, and I just spit this word out real quick. I gotta go fast because the show's about to be over. It's only an hour. That new Twitter thing from
X.
how long ago? Yeah, I'm gonna flow. Now, not X. X is from that's Elon. That's Twitter other ones, and that's weird too. I was looking at that like, okay, what's the symbolic meaning behind X? Now I know a little bit about Elon Musk, and anybody who wants to go on my YouTube show, I go into Elon Musk, like what is his soul on a soul level? What is his intention? And Mark Zuckerberg, both of them. So it's whatever Facebook, they have a version of Twitter. It has like a 6 and a 9. Please, if you love yourself, if you love your young people, do not let them download this particular thing. We are at war, y'all. I don't want to get anybody too upset. I've got to be very, very calculated in what I'm sharing, because this is a beautiful time. This is love light energy. This is a very beautiful time, but there are also elements of enslavement. I can't say it any other type of way.
Yeah.
And in that whole metaverse thing, we understand the power of the human mind. If you sit in a room and you got that meta thing on your head, and you're sitting in your house for 8 hours a day, the human mind, your mind would sync with that. They want your information. They're gathering stuff right now. They're listening to my phone right now. All they're doing is gathering your information, your ID, you're studying. With this AI thing, it's taking it to a whole nother level. This is what made me jump into action. I haven't been doing this for very long, y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't see me last year. I've only been doing this for like 6 months.
Bro, I've been shot, tortured. I've been through some stuff, right? I have never been more terrified in my life than when these past couple years, as my eyes have been opening at the possibilities, right, that I'm just becoming aware of. Like, I'm not stupid, right? I like to think I was conscious, but no, there is so much stuff I'm not aware of, right, that is second nature to them, that they've been testing and playing with, and like I told you, I heard about this CIA machine. I didn't want to say it on the air last time. Because it's like, they got your DNA. You know how easy it is for them to get your DNA? I'm not sure if y'all see the news story about the I can't remember her name right now. But there's a black woman from like the 40s. They took her
cells from her uterus.
Yeah,
or
took her
whatever?
cells without her permission
Yeah,
and
I
cured I think it was polio. It was part of the cure for polio. It's like they have been playing with our DNA, our structure for so long. I heard they have a machine, because everything's vibration, everything's energy, that can catch your frequency from your DNA and then control you like a puppet. And you won't even know. And if you come awake, they can stop your heart. Basically, I'm very healthy too, mind you. I'm very healthy. I'm 39, work out every day, eat healthy, drink nothing but water. I shouldn't die unexpectedly, y'all. But I'm telling you, like, this is how I've been feeling. It's like, man, if I say something, if I say the wrong thing to the wrong person,
Hey, man.
it's like, he got a Agent Smith coming. Agent Smith coming. Put him in the tube. It's like, man, it's I hate to sound like a nut job, because that's what I be feeling like.
I understand.
That's what I be feeling like. It's like, I don't want to say it and you don't believe me, but when I tell you, man, I'm terrified of. I know they got something that they hiding. The more information they give me, I'm just looking at them like,
Man,
why you?
They do. I got some things. Like I said, I'm careful. Everything is measured.
Yeah.
Please join into the dialogue. If this excites you, please call in. We want to know. If this is something that you want to, I can take this operation to a whole nother city if I have to.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? This thing,
yeah.
this whole knowledge is. What York, PA? Are we gonna represent or what? This is my hometown. However, the grand plan of this, we're gonna go to different cities and we're gonna reduplicate what's coming in, because this is freedom time. And you're right. There's some things to be. If that comfortability that you all are feeling, it's an illusion. Comfortability is an illusion.
Yes, it
if you
is.
study what's going on, if you think you're just going to pull up the Popeyes chicken whenever you want, you got to see what's going on with the food. If you think you're going to use your debit card, you need to see what's going on, what they're doing with the finances, and what they're doing with commerce. And the World Economical Forum, they're planning for a collapse. They're planning for a financial collapse. Growing up, we would hear about the government shutdown. Never heard about a government shutdown. And then when I became conscious, government shutdown, I think maybe like 10, 15 years ago, it was like one every 3-4 years. It was like, oh, the government's about to shut down. Government's about to shut down. Do. That was to the point the government's almost about to shut down like every month. Every month.
Every week.
I'm like, and it goes to what you were saying is that, and there's a project, it's called Project Looking Glass. Write that down, y'all. Project Looking Glass. They, the powers that be had the ability to kind of foresee what was coming before, but this time, when they turn on their little screens, all they get is static. And they're scared to death. They have no idea what's coming. That's why they're moving such fast pace. And they bringing out these, they're moving fast, bro.
Yeah.
They got this thing where they're trying
I
to
feel
block.
the panic.
They're actually trying to set up this thing with Elon Musk, is to have this type of thing out in space. They have a period of satellites and kind of join them together like a net that they want to do. They're going to say that they want to absorb the energy from the sun. They're playing around with the sun, y'all. They're playing around with time. When you see what's going on in the CERN laboratories,
Listen, I think we've been there already. I think people can already do it. I think people have already been time.
they can.
I think people had already been time. Like, when I'm telling you, I've been reading everything I can get my hands on.
Yeah.
I've been watching anything I can get my hands. I'm talking magic, witchcraft, angels, demons, spirits, aliens. I don't care what it is, man. I've been trying to find an answer, right? Because when I tell you, I felt it. Like, I felt a severance, a block. I don't know how to describe it. I couldn't describe it to people when it happened. But I remember looking at my sister, looking at my ex, looking at my friends, like, I feel like I had a charm on me my whole life, and it was gone.
Yes, sir.
Like I had a connection to something. Don't know what it is. I had a connection to something, it was gone.
Yes, sir.
It was just, like I said, I don't know if it was a block, but I can't say it was something I did.
They got things that they're doing deliberately with them chemtrails. Chemtrails, they come over the city. Anybody look up in the sky and you see those very long lines of smoke and they intersect, be mindful of where they intersect. They're trying so many things to get us out of our original state of being. Because that's the only way that they can even create the reality that they want to produce, is they gotta bring us out of our zone. That's why this is the conversation we're going into, some more of the scarier aspects, so to speak. And then after, I believe the next Wednesday, not the second Wednesday, we're actually going to be going to what can you do? Like, why are we sharing this information? You know, and what you can do to regain your own connection with your inner self. We're going to go into meditation. We're going to go into visualizations, doing something that you can do today. Well, when we do it, on that day, you can actually do that, and that will actually cause you to be able to see some of these information a little bit better. Some of this information, your heart chakra is vibing with it, but your conscious mind, it may be troubling. A lot of y'all may be having some wars within yourself. Like, I agree with that, but I don't agree with that. It's cognitive dissonance. If you can get us in that state of cognitive dissonance where we don't want to go for what our heart is saying, our brain is telling us to remain. That's the limbo they're trying to keep everybody in, is that cognitive dissonance. So what I recommend, do your own research. Question everything that I said. Question everything that this God here says as well. We're not here to pour any wool on any of our eyes. This is just straight out love and light is the whole inspiration for what we coming with. What you got something you want to kind of dip in there real quick before we dip on out of here?
Well, I'll say this, right? Get yourself right. I know a lot of people looking at me like, you know, well, why ain't you doing more? Why ain't you doing this? You know, you can do this, you can do that. I'm gonna tell you like this, man. When I first came on the show, I said I was in a low point in my life. I made some bad choices because I'm trying to take all responsibility. But when I tell you, it felt so out of my control. That's nothing else I can tell you. It felt out of my control, and that's the part that irked me. Because, like, I'm a black man in America. Of course, I'm really comfortable with anger. Like, but if you know me for a little bit, right, like, oh, he's not like that. I was angry. Family members looking at me like nervous. It's like, this is not institutionalization. This is not a bad trip. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. It's like I was out of control. I felt like I had something in me that was pulling everything negative out of me, and I could not control it. Couldn't filter it. I was saying stuff that's like, I don't even think like that. I had to get myself right. And then when it comes to what am I going to do about it, I got to make sure, because that negative side, it was a stranger to me. And like I said, till you're in the situation, you really don't know what you're going to do. That's why policemen and firemen drill. That's why the army drills. So when it's live action, you don't freeze or run. You don't break. That felt like I was going to break. I'm like, oh, because I wasn't in control. I'm like, I've never been in that situation in my life. And get yourself as strong as possible, yo. Yes, sir. Get yourself to where it's like, I don't care what happens, I'm going to do the right thing. That's how I felt, because it's like, man, I could have went evil. I could have went so dark, like, you know. And movies have the best lies are based in truth. So don't look at these movies like, Star Wars ain't real. No, it's really real. The Force is real. I hate to say it like that. The Force is real.
I got you.
I believe there's one power source. The universe is one source
right,
of energy, right? You call it whatever you want. And then it comes down to us. We channel it. And we make it negative or positive.
Yes, sir.
If you would have gave me some source a couple months ago, oh, you getting straight Darth Vader. You getting Darth Vader. You getting Darth Vader. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I gotta make sure I'm all the way on the light side. Yes. Yeah.
Peace of
yes,
mind.
Your heart is so imperative.
Find your peace.
You know? Yes, it's important because you're not gonna know. You're not gonna know until it happens, man. That's all I can say. You're not gonna know until it happens. Hopefully, I wouldn't wish it on nobody. I wouldn't wish it on nobody. But the enlightenment that I hope to gain, I will give for free. I'm cool. I hope that's at the end of my trial by fire. And any knowledge I get, I will share. That's why I came on the show. That's why I appreciate you so much for this opportunity. Because it's like, man, I'm scared of what the heck is gonna come out of my mouth sometimes. It's like,
love the courage, bro.
It don't feel like it. Because this is a process, you know. This has been a process, a chore. I feel like I've been fighting a holy war for nothing. You know, not for nothing, but it's like, what set me off?
Yes, sir.
That's what I ask myself every day. Like, what set you off, yo? I have nothing in my life. My life was blessed. It's still blessed. And I gotta fight every day just to be grateful and appreciative and stay positive.
Yeah.
Like I was wake up in the morning. I'm embarrassed and nobody even knows. Like I've been by myself for years, and it's like nobody even knows. But I'm still embarrassed just the thoughts I was thinking. I ain't
That's
never
all
been in a
part of
situation
it,
like
man.
that, man.
God is in everything, man. Even in this is all a process. Like you said, you growing and you elevating, and all of us, we have a decision because of the energy that is actually in our permeating through our bodies. A lot of us even have finding our diets are changing within our own body. Like, man, I don't know you feeling this chicken anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wave of energy. So it's either A, you don't really have a choice. You can't sit on the sideline. You're already in the game. Either A, you're going to evolve with this energy that you have, or you're going to stay stagnant. And that's cool too. Because if you stay stagnant, there's a reality waiting for you. It's the reality that they want for you.
Yeah.
And I promise you, it is the less preferred reality. Everything is going to come to a point of a head of all positivity and peace. It's either if you get there quick or you got to go through the traffic. We're offering you we're offering this like Candyland. You go on that little cotton candy slide. Mm-hmm. We're offering you ways where you can actually access and bypass all of that thing. And this is this is everybody on the planet is dealing with this. 99 billion individuals. So we're all going through this at the same time. But we're gonna go ahead and close this down. Like I said, this is gonna be every particular Wednesday.
Quick question.
Yes, sir.
Do you or EJ think it's a connection with the latest narrative they've had about slavery was good for us? Do you think it's a connection of everything you said? It's Governor
DeSantis in
Ford,
Florida that talks about.
said it was a benefit for
I think he's a
slavery.
stool pigeon.
So if you could repeat the question so everyone else can hear it and give us
So
a
we were asked as far as the news item was really popular. I believe the governor DeSantis in Florida was sharing about how black people benefited from slavery and what that has to do with this agenda that the individuals are bringing about. When I first heard about it, honestly, I don't get riled up on things that they want people to get kind of riled up on. I just looked at that like, okay, that's first of all. I try to look at no matter who it is, I always try to look for the right in what anybody say, regardless. It might be 2 or 4, but yeah, my particular thing is that we're the original black man, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet, or God of the universe. So wherever we go, we're gonna be God wherever we go. I mean, so just coming in this, we took chitlins and made it into a delicacy. You take trash and we're gonna make it shine. So it's really a testament to us. You can put us anywhere, we're gonna rise to the top. That's my thought.
I will say this. That's an old narrative. He's not even the cream of the crop. Like he's a distraction.
He's trying
This
to
is an
grasp
old
that.
narrative.
He's grasping
They've
this
been using that narrative forever. As far as who did the Europeans learn sailing from? They weren't sailors. All the Vikings weren't even white. Like you think these things, they act like they civilized
Yeah.
the Americas. When
They had to
the
learn from the
Native Americans
had to
gave
teach
them
them how
democracy.
to-
It's like, but they civilized the world. Like this is the old narrative that it's like we helped you. It's like, listen, that's how my trial felt. It's like, this is you helping me. Like, this is help.
This is hell.
This is help. Like this is hell.
Don't help.
Yeah, don't
How about
help.
that?
Leave me alone, because that felt terrible. But that's what they've been doing. It's like,
But as I think about it even more deeply, and thank you for bringing that question up, because we've been black people here in North America, or wherever you want to identify yourself, we are a new being. We have DNA remnants of our lives back in Absalom. It's not even Africa, in Absalom, where we came from, and yet our knowledge has been taken from our practices. Our language, our mannerism,
Our
we've been
religions.
stripped totally butt naked of all of that, and yet still we rise, and yes, we will rise. So that little conversation about us benefiting from being raped and tortured and being mind controlled, and now we're patterning ourselves after them. We're dressing like them, talking like them, got the last
Don't
name
act like
them.
you're oppressors, man.
Right.
Do
So
not act like you're oppressors.
so I guess we became better because we're mimicking our oppressors, and that notion is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because the oppressors actually learned from us.
And and then they add their own spin on it, where it was like, help them forget. That's like the only unique thing I can see they've done: burning the libraries, destroying the knowledge,
Alexandria.
killing the seers and the sages. They used to hold the information. It's like, that's where they got that trick from, because there used to be human reservoirs of information.
Yes.
You had the wise men. You can kill them though. It's like, hey, you just kill the human computer.
Right.
Get rid of their memory bank.
Just
So people
rewrite
start writing
everything.
stuff down. Hey, we can burn that. It's like that's like they won contribution to society, destroying
Yes.
knowledge.
It is true. So thank you for that question. So we're gonna stay tuned. Like I said, next show we're gonna have the owners from the Pecan Tree. They're gonna be highlighting small businesses. We're gonna be doing that every second Wednesday of the month. And make sure you set your timer, set your alarms for the hour of power. So every Wednesday from 8 to 9, and this is, like I said, sent out to YouTube, Facebook, and soon it's gonna be on all platforms. So with that, Patal Shakur, my dear brother, love and light to you, bro. Appreciate you coming through.
doubt.
And for everybody who's listening, I would say for you, seek heaven on earth, and you will find the God within. And then when you do find that God within, we all should seek to reduplicate heaven on earth. So with that, Patal Shakur, Starseed salute. I see you all next bat time, next bat channel. Peace.
Yeah.
We still on?